I apologize in advance if you can hear the thunder outside, but it is thundering and raining right now, but it's pretty fitting because in this video we're going to be checking out the Nerf Thunderblast. Now the Thunderblast is literally what would happen if you took the grenade or rocket launcher off the Demolisher and made it into its own entire blaster, because that is what it is. Not too much to go over on the box. The back just shows, you know, what it looks like all together and some firing stuff. So let's cut this thing open and go over it. Really quick note, there is no instruction manual in this. All the instructions are on the back of the box. So this is what you get right out of the box. You get two little missile rocket things and the Thunderblast itself. The Thunderblast is quite large, with about maybe almost 50% of it being taken up by this stock. So let's check out the stock. Well, like this, it is uncomfortable, but I believe the way you're supposed to fire it is by putting it over your shoulder because of the curve of the stock right there. And this is also not very comfortable, at least for me. It's just a little blocky and doesn't really fit, but it might fit the kids, so it's really all about your body type. My shoulders are just a little bit bigger than that, but the stock is not removable. It is permanently in place, so you're gonna have to live with it. The grip, or the main grip right here, is quite nice. My thumb and hand fit into it very nicely, and it's nice and large for hands of all sizes, which is great. I only have two complaints with the back grip itself, and that's, I don't know why they put this notch there, but my index finger just wants to kind of ride into it, and it's a bit uncomfortable. Not sure why the notch exists, but it does. And the other complaint is I wish they made this little scoop back here a little bit more rounder and larger. My thumb gets pushed in there a little bit, but they're really not too big of complaints, and the grip feels just fine. Now the grip up in the front is basically the same thing, notch in the front here and a very, very quick turning back, but very comfortable overall, just very comfortable. So how exactly does the Thunderblast work? Well, it works just like the Demolisher in that you're using a pump design. So you push this out here, and when you do that with it, air comes over here and shoots out there. So when you put a missile in, which is a very, very easy process, and you, ooh, there's a bit of a bump right there, but just like that. Now on the back of the stock, there are two missile holders, and they hold the missiles in there quite tightly. It's a bit of a squeeze to get them in, but they're not gonna come out anytime soon. You can run around with this thing all day and they're gonna stay inside of their little holders just fine. And even when you're shouldering them, the missiles don't get in the way of anything, even if you wanna do this, even though it's quite uncomfortable. But yeah, the missiles are out of the way, which is nice. So very easy to get to them and load them up into the front and fire them off. Now there is one nice little feature that Nerf added with the pump at the front, and I would guess most people would expect this to kind of just flop around while you're running, but there's a nice little click right there that keeps this from jutting out and flapping all over the place, which is nice. Not coming out. There we go. It takes a little bit of effort, but you know, your hand's gonna be on it, so it's not gonna be flying out or anything like that. So I'm curious to see exactly how fast I can get these missiles to go. So let's chronograph this. It's gonna vary for everyone because, you know, some people will be doing that with it, others will be, you know, pushing it as hard as they can. So your missile distance and your missile velocity and everything that has to do with how far your missile will go really depends on how hard you slam this thing around. So I'm just curious to see how fast I can get them going. So let's set that up. There's really no good way for me to chronograph the Thunderblast without hiking the chronograph up to literally my shoulder level. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. And I'm gonna be slamming it as hard as I can to see, you know, what my maximum FPS is out of this thing. So let's see how this thing works. Yeah. Wow, this thing is so inaccurate. This might take a few tries to get the chronograph reading. Oh my gosh. See if this helps. It wants to punch to the right, so oh, this is gonna be so hard. Got one, yes, 58.04. All right, let's see if I can do it again. Nope. This might be the only chronograph reading I get. Ah, error.
2,000 years later.
So I've tried getting this to chronograph more than once, but it's just not working. Whenever I punch it, the missile wants to just go right. It's not going over the sensor, so we're gonna quit it with 58.04 feet per second. Ow. Ow. Oh, that really hurt. Ow. While I was outside shooting the outdoor segments, I discovered a way to make this thing much more comfortable when shooting. The way I was originally doing it was putting it directly into my shoulder at around a parallel to ground angle. The way I think you're supposed to do it is tilt it up at a 45-degree angle to let it ride on the curve on the top of your shoulder, and firing it that way is much more comfortable. So yeah, do that. Don't hold it like you would a normal blaster or like a gun at your shoulder, even though you're doing that with it. So what is my final verdict on the Nerf Thunderblast? When pictures were released of this thing, I could not think of anything else but gimmick. Nerf has taken the Demolisher grenade launcher and put a stock on it and is selling it to you for around $26. Do I think it's a gimmick? Yes, I think it's a gimmick. However, it is quite a bit of fun just to kind of fire it around and see how far you can get the missiles to go. Outside of just having a little bit of a good time, I don't really see a practical purpose to this. Like during a war, no one's going to be using this to try and hit their opponents because missiles are not very accurate. I couldn't even get them to go over a chronograph that's right in front of me. They're not accurate at all. And it's hard to gauge just how they're gonna fly. The only real use I can see getting out of this would be for an HVZ event where there's a special kind of zombie that needs to be hit with missiles or socks or some special kind of ammo. That's really the only thing I can see this being used for. Other than that, this only comes with 2 missiles and you're going to lose them so easily. I had to go into some ivy, under some branches, and like crawl my way to get one of the missiles that I shot. It's just, you're gonna lose these. So I wish Nerf would add at least 2 more or maybe 3 more to this because it really needs it. So overall, I am not impressed with this blaster. Yeah, it has a bit of fun to it, but there's just no practical purpose. And for $26, I don't see the use. So overall, it's just a gimmicky blaster that gives you a little bit of fun, but not enough to really warrant it being a thing, you know? Go buy a Demolisher and have a blaster that shoots both darts and the missiles. Yes, you're gonna be paying more for it, but I think it's a better deal overall because at least you can shoot darts with it. The fun for this doesn't outweigh what you're getting in the package and the price cost for it. This is just a meh blaster overall. So there you go, that is the Nerf Thunderblast, the rocket shooting kind of gimmick for the 2015 fall release lineup. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always guys, have a great day wherever you are.